What is up, Bucs fans? We are live here at Real Bucs Talk on a Monday, the start of free agency. A lot of money is being paid out. Show me the money, as Jerry Maguire likes to reference. It is happening. I wish I was an agent, Mark, just to make 1% of what these guys are getting. It's crazy. But how are we doing? How are we feeling? Obviously, the big news, Mike Evans, no longer a Buccaneer, moves to the West Coast, and it's an end of the era. I mean, so just your thoughts on Mike Evans, and I'm sure that'll be the main discussion tonight, and then we'll get into the Bucs free agent moves as well.
I mean, everyone's got their opinions, and a lot of it's negativity, a lot of it's anger, emotion, and let's bring some logic into it. But still, like, there's emotional part of this. It's an emotional game. It's not just chess pieces at times. You got to realize it's people. When you're dealing with people, right? And for Mike Evans, like it's amazing the years that he had here. I mean, Jason Light had a soft spot for him. That was his first ever pick as a GM, right? Mm-hmm. So yes, he had a soft spot, and Mike was amazing in the community, on the field, Mr. Consistent, right? You couldn't say there's anyone more consistent with him based off of his 1,000-yard seasons. And the reality of it was, he just wanted to go to a team that was trending in the right direction, in which he felt that way. And like I spoke to you about this, if Tom Brady can leave a team, anyone can leave a team. And at that rate, he thought it's a better option with the 49ers. He took less to go to the 49ers. The Bucs offered him more. He knew what he had here in his eyes, whether it be Todd Bowles, whether it be the defense, whether it be Baker isn't the guy to get you over the hump, whether it's not as much faith in Zach Robinson, the inconsistencies of keeping guys here on the coaching staff to be reliable, as we always say, like, we need to find a coach that is an offensive coordinator so you have consistency on that side of the ball. The offensive players see it all the damn time. We talk about how Baker hated it. I guarantee you Mike hated it too. Mm-hmm. So that probably plays into it. It's not just because of Todd Bowles, but it's part of the equation, right? And everyone's saying that 3rd and 28, he was emotional after that, extremely emotional, and everyone was. And we all thought that was like the nail in the coffin for Todd Bowles' job. But guess what? Todd's here. The Glazers made the decision. Jason Light made their decision. And clearly Jason Light and ownership and everyone has a plan in place that if Mike chose that he didn't want to stay here, they have to make quick decisions. And they did with signing back Kate Otten. They signed back and what's it called? They signed back Anzalone. Yep. They're putting money into the defense. What do you know? The big question, Kenneth Gainwell is the biggest one. I was like, whoa, giving money to a running back, but it's a guy that can be the Bucky role, so you don't really lose anything when Bucky goes out. Yeah. But the biggest thing everyone wants to talk about is how Todd Bowles is the reason why Mike Evans is gone. So I'll let you continue on forward and see what is your feedback on that. Do you really think that's the reasoning, or how do you see it?
Yeah, I think all the points you made are all valid. I think just we have to remember, we have to take a step back. Last year, a lot of things went wrong, and that was in the middle of a 6-2 start. Yep. And things just didn't work out. You lose Kalijah Cansey, who's probably your most critical piece on defense. You didn't have the progression that you wanted from Servassier Dennis. Levante David had injuries that he was dealing with, wasn't playing at the same level that he had in the past. The pass rush was a struggle. Young secondary that you were dealing with on defense. Offense was kind of crippled because you had an inexperienced offensive play caller that was maybe just overwhelmed. And it seemed like that, throughout the year, you had a host of injuries to Godwin, Evans, McMillan. Yeah, that's a good one.
That's the positive side of it after we talk about Mike, because Mike deserves his time.
I mean, there was just so much that went wrong. Offensive line was never fully healthy. And Mike, I think, is at a point where we talk about legacy, we talk about numbers. He's talked about plenty of times to being into, he wants to get into the Hall of Fame, and I think he's a Hall of Famer already. But to really etch his name in NFL history, he wants to be one of the best, not just, a top 15 guy. He wants to be in the top 10 in everything.
Yeah.
It's all said and done. He wants to be known as one of the greatest to ever play the game. So when you factor that in, you factor in the receivers that you still have on this roster, the fact that you re-signed Chris Godwin, you drafted Emeka Egbuka for a reason. And I made this point today. I was like, who's the best receiver in the NFL from last year? It's JSN for Seattle. Who looks like JSN? Emeka Egbuka. Same size, similar play style, does all the things. And Zach Robinson's coming in here. He's trying to bring back a Liam Cohen offense, which is attacking the middle of the field, attacking the intermediate parts, and with your passing game, crossers, stuff like that. That all plays into a part. So those factors, and then on top of it, just the overall direction of the team, I think just the way it spiraled down and not making the playoffs, that took an impact on Mike, and he thought it was time for a change, and he decided to go to San Francisco. And I can't blame him for that move, because Kyle Shanahan's probably one of the best offensive minds in this league. It's a historic franchise, a lot of publicity. Definitely, if he produces there, he's going to be automatic Pro Bowler. He'll probably get nominated for All Pro as well.
You're in San Fran.
Yeah, it's just a bigger market, much tougher division. I don't know if you're going to be automatically in the playoffs, but he feels confident that he can get what he needs. And I think it's more so over legacy than it was money or even winning a championship. I think he felt he wasn't confident that he was going to consistently get the football, even with Zach Robinson coming here. And you look at the games from the end of the year, he had, I think, 6 catches against the Falcons game in his first game back. But after that, he just didn't really see the football. And that's not mainly on him. It's what else is on this roster, with Godwin and Egbuka, McMillan. So that all plays a part. As far as Cade Otton, I was surprised. I didn't expect him to come back. I love Cade.
I think that makes it even worse. People see, oh, you signed Cade, you didn't sign Mike. And
it's not.
I knew that was going to happen. I knew it was going to happen. I was like, oh, that's going to be the emotional thing, because how dare you give it to Cade and not to Mike? Mike chose not to come.
Right.
Mike chose not to sign back. So they have to do something.
Yeah, they wanted to give Mike the money. They were obviously giving him the same amount. They were probably doing the same deal.
Reports that they wanted to give him more than what.
Well, I think they gave him similar money. It was probably around 20 million. So it was a choice, and he made his choice.
But regardless, he would have made more if he stays here, because
Texas.
Those little guidelines that you see around your state, they do good things. That's why a lot of people like to move here, guys.
Yeah, exactly. So I think with that decision and getting Cade Otton back, I think is awesome, and getting him below market value, less than 11 million, which I thought he was going to get. You get him for 10. And he's just a very good football player, a guy that you can count on. Now you don't have to worry about tight end in the draft. I think that could still be a position they attack, but we'll see. And then getting Alex Anzalone, we talked about him. I did a film study on his game, and I think he's just a high-end player. He's like Cade Otton, but on linebacker. I think he's just steady, and he can also provide coverage. Now, there is risk with him, because you worry about the past injuries, and that's something he has struggled with in the past. So there is some risk, but I think he's a good leader. He lives in Tampa. He's got a home in Tampa. So it makes all the sense of the world. And you get him at very good value for the type of production that he's provided. And Kenneth Gainwell, he's the surprise. I mean, the Bucs always make a surprise signing. It was Hassan Reddick last year, and it's Kenneth Gainwell this year. But I think he opens up the offense even more. and gives you another running back that you can pair with Bucky, and it should be exciting to see how they operate.
A lot of people saying that that's not good value, Kate Otton's contract. So I was kind of going to, I mean, again, it's an emotional decision based off of you didn't get Mike, so everyone's going to say something. I mean, Kate Otton's to blame, Todd Bowles is to blame, everyone's to blame besides Mike. Why choosing to go elsewhere? So I mean, big thing, guys, like it's not like they didn't try. And if you're going to blame Todd Bowles for it, okay, like everyone's going to want to find a finger to point to. At the end of the day, you got to move forward, right? Like, how mad are we going to be? Like, I agree. I thought Todd should have been fired.
Yeah.
Point blank. But when they made their decision, you got to move forward and you got to be like, okay, well, if you're going to stay, what the hell are you going to do to change things? Because the defense was atrocious. Yeah. There was nothing consistent. What were the reasons why, and how are we going to move forward? And I guarantee you both Jason Light and Todd said very similar things, if not the same. And that's why I've always said that they're very much married at the hip, because I don't think it's going to be, oh, they're going to love Todd over Jason. I think it's just more because they themselves are one. I know a lot of people are like, no, Jason's God, Jason's Lord. And it's because he wanted to keep Todd, and it's the Glazers' fault. Everyone has some finger they want to point to. The only people who truly know are the Glazers, Todd, and Jason, and they're not going to tell you jack shit. So we can whine and cry all we want. Mike Evans was a hell of a football player for the Buccaneers, probably one of the best, if not the best, Buccaneer of all time. But I'm tired of the whiny crybaby stuff. He chose somewhere else, whether it be Todd's fault or hell. We shouldn't have lost that game 26-28 to the Falcons if Baker completes his pass to Emeka Egbuka, who's wide the hell open. So blame Baker. It's Baker's fault. Get Baker's ass out of here. Like, there's so many ways we can point a finger, and that's what pisses me off the most, that we can point the finger left, right, up, down, anywhere. At the end of the day, he chose he wanted to leave. I'm not mad at him for it, okay? But go chase what you want. There's no one he has to compete with the 49ers for wide receivers. He's going to get all the targets. He's got the offensive mastermind. That's why the Bucs probably chased after McDaniel so much, because he was a right under him, right-hand man of Shanahan. So they're hoping to lure him in more that way. Guess what? The Bucs chose the Bucs, and they want to find a way to improve the defense, not have two $20 million receivers under the cap. And guess what? They future-proofed themselves by getting Egbuka, who everyone loved at the beginning of the season. Oh, this is the guy. That's the man. Yeah. And they forget about him because Mike just left. Like, JSN had a good to average season his first year. Last 2 years, he blew up. And I know this is probably going to get people pissed off, but damn it, you got to look at it future-proof. Tom Brady left. What are we upset about? Like, we got greatness for a while. He won a Super Bowl here. Greatness. I'm not mad that he chose somewhere else. I just see it as the Buccaneers saying, shit, we tried. Maybe we aren't that good, but we're going to try and make sure that we're a good team. We're not going to throw in the towel and say, some people are saying 4th overall pick because Mike Evans left. I was like, come on, guys. Come on. Really?
Yeah. But I mean, it's like these narratives here about Kate Otton. I mean, buy some gloves. The guy had two two drops all of last year. Yes, they were pretty bad. Sure. And that gets talked about a lot, but and this will probably be my next film study. I'll do an in-depth film study on Kate Otton and just show you guys how good he is. To get him for $10 million is a steal. And the guy's rock solid. He doesn't come off the field. He blocks his ass off, and he's reliable and dependable. He's a good player. And people want to complain about him, but look at the stats. Like, the guy is very consistent. He's consistent too. Yeah, he's very consistent. And don't talk about buy some gloves. Like, okay, I understand if you want to bring up that point on the Loose Cannons pod because that is their theme, but no, not here. Especially when his drop rate is less than 3%. Like, but I appreciate the comment, and I know I
can't find it.
You know, Otton's a good football player.
Like, there's a lot more than just being really fast. If it was about being fast, Culp would be in starting role right now, right? He
Mhm.
blocks really well. He does all the little things right. There's a reason why they don't take him off the damn field. So, I mean, it's just, yeah, he doesn't run a 4.4 40. He's
Yeah.
not going to make the acrobatic catches. But guess what? Liam Cohen found a way to use his ass pretty damn in a high clip for
Mhm.
like a 3 or 4 game span. He had a pretty damn good game against the Falcons in that, to be exact, too. So, I mean, if you had a guy that knows how to use the players can look better.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
let's see.
That's a big part of it.
Right.
I'm excited about Anzalone. We talked about him. I think again, he provides one of the linebackers. I think you still need a couple more, obviously, and they're going to do that in the draft. We'll see what happens with Levante David. As far as him coming back, I don't know. I think Anzalone plays pretty much the position that Levante would play. I think you need more of a Mike linebacker. So I think they're going to look for something bigger as far as overall size. I think Anzalone is actually a pretty decent sized linebacker. Is he? He's at least 6'1", I want to say, over 230 pounds. So when you look at that, and then also bringing in more so of that blitzing linebacker, yeah, 6'3". So he's 6'3", 234 pounds. So obviously that's one step in terms of fitting the narrative of getting bigger in the front seven. And that's something Todd Bowles talked about. So adding size and then getting faster, I think, is definitely a possibility as we look at maybe another free agent or even in the draft.
I mean, he's a smart football player.
Yeah.
I'll say that. We need more of those. We need more dependability because guess what? Servassier was an inconsistent player. We're looking for consistency and ways to upgrade their front seven. They said that over and tried and true again in the combine, and you heard that nonstop. Why have they not gotten an edge rusher? A lot of them are gone now. Are they trying to go all in with Trey Hendrickson? I don't know. Yeah. Right. So there's a big chunk of money that hasn't gone to Levante, didn't go to Mike Evans. So where are you putting that? Right. So I'm wondering what type of conversations they're having to upgrade that position. Mm-hmm. I guarantee you it's not only going to be through the draft, because I think Light kind of gave away. He's like, you got to show that you can get sacks to produce at this level. Yeah. Right. I think it was kind of credit to what he did with David Walker last year. He's like, we got to get guys that know what the hell they're doing, but you got to pay for them. Right. And if you're not going to pay Mike Evans, or you tried to, but you didn't succeed, how are you going to fill that gap? Where are you going to normalize you're this heavy on offense and this much on defense? We got to get it closer to being average, right?
Yeah.
And the last 2 Super Bowls were dominant defenses. Bucs ain't going to do that. And look at that list.
Yeah. Yeah. These are the guys still available. Obviously Hendrickson would be, I think, a awesome pickup, but it's going to be dependent upon the cost. And I'm hearing the cost is above $30 million per year. So that's going to be tough. When you look at Bradley Chubb, I mean, I think he's kind of over the hill, in my opinion. I would love to see Kayvon Chaisson. I think he would be a good fit as far as what they want, and added good production. Arnold Ebiketie, I think, is another quality player that could come in, that they could add and be a veteran. Jadeveon Clowney, I don't know, probably not. Even though he had 8.5 sacks last year. If again, it just depends on these price points and what you can add there, Mark. But I don't know. What's your opinions on these guys that are left?
Any one of them.
Yeah, any one of them.
I guess the big ones are clearly Trey Hendrickson is going to be the prize of that group. He's number 4 of the top 100 free agents, right? Mm. But if you fail, do you go with 2 veterans and then draft a rookie edge rusher? I think you should regardless.
Yeah.
But I still think you got to get at least one. Whether it is you try and get a younger guy who you can grow with Chaisson, who I was a big fan of. I even said that last year. Yeah. You were like, oh, he had no production. Then he puts up production. He's probably looking for a big contract, so I don't know if that's the guy. Trey Hendrickson, clearly, Chaisson. Cam Jordan, I joked with you about it yesterday. Mm-hmm. I was like, what if they did somehow him and Jason Light had some like, hey, let's bullshit together and let's see what we can do. I don't know, but I think it's going to have to be a combination of one of these and an rookie edge rusher, or you try and get two of these veteran edge rushers to find a way to bring you some pass rush. But either way, I don't know why we still haven't signed a big man either. I mean, clearly you lost Greg Gaines and Logan Hall. Yeah. You haven't signed him back. I haven't heard anything yet. Hopefully we don't.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, I just think the market is just really crazy right now. So you got to kind of weigh these things out and see what type of value you can get. As pointed out by casual viewer, that's really the delay here. I mean, when guys are getting way overpaid, you look at Jalen Phillips getting 30 million, Kwity Paye getting 16 million, Boye Mafe got way more than I thought at 20, Odafe Owe at 25 plus. It's tough to add. And then you look at the interior defensive line group when Omamata is getting 10 million plus from the Jets. It makes it tough. And then like Tim Settle was another one that I like. He's getting 8 million from Washington. So I think we have to wait and see what type of value pops up. And hopefully you can get one of these guys and then another interior defensive lineman. And, maybe they look at the trade market, but with Jonathan Grenard, I think that would be a tough sell just because you have to give up a high-end draft pick, and then on top of it, probably going to give him a new contract. So lot to process there. Thibodeau, kind of the same thing, giving up a lesser pick, a day 3, but you also have to give him a new contract. So all those things you have to balance out and see what is going to be the best option. I wouldn't mind, like, again, a Joey Bosa, I think is still capable. But you're going to have to add significant draft resources and make sure your room is solidified there.
Yeah. Either way, the defense needs to be improved. Am I surprised about it? Not necessarily. I mean, hell, we had what's his name, Rick Stroud saying, "Oh, it's going to be quiet. They're going to not do nothing." They did something, right? They did do some signings, even though some people are very unamused with it. I think you're getting smarter. You're getting more consistency on defense so far with the guy, with Anzalone. You got very much consistent with Kenneth Gainwell, a guy who can receive out of the backfield, guy that can pass block. They didn't want to push Sean Tucker out there because he's not a good pass blocker. Rashad White was our main guy. They let him go so far. Which is clearly getting Gainwell, you're seeing that he's going to continue going somewhere else.
Kept a good player in Kadon.
Yeah, and you kept Kadon. So you got a lot. You kept consistency, and you got more consistent players. They didn't have older, slower, but brains make up for a lot. I guarantee that's probably why, if and when Levante comes back, you have a tandem of 2 smart guys in the middle. Get your fast guys on the edge. I mean that is my big thing. Like. Your linebackers got to clean things up, not to be the main originators of the problem, right? And I'm hoping they go bigger in the middle, which they talked about, and they get some speed in the outsides. Because your secondary is pretty much set, even though you lost Dean. And that's
they had interest in James Pierre, the Pittsburgh corner that went to the Vikings for around $4.5 million. Would have been a good addition because he has familiarity with Danny Smith, the special teams coach that came over. Would have been a high-end, probably a much better player than Kendall Vildor. He would have been an upgrade there. So that's unfortunate. But again, these guys, as players, they have the choice to make where they want to go. He saw a better opportunity with Minnesota. But yeah, I think Jamel Dean, it was kind of, writing on the wall as far as him leaving, going to Pittsburgh, getting a good contract, and an opportunity to be a starter. So I think John Ledyard's probably going to get a kick out of that one. But but yeah, I think it will be fun. Fun to see how he does. I mean, he's got to stay healthy.
Yeah, that's the thing though. When he had a rotation, but are you going to sign someone for a big dollar, a big ticket item, just for rotation stuff. I don't know. It's difficult. But
and on top of it, you drafted Benjamin Morrison, you drafted Jacob Parrish for a reason. You just signed McCollum, so you're expecting big things out of those guys to improve, and hopefully they continue to progress.
and like this one, plus doing Keanu Matrix bullet time.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, I understand. Everyone's got their opinions.
Yeah.
I've always been, we've always been big believers here in Cade Otton. We pretty much predicted him to be the Bucs draft pick in 2022. He was the tight end rated right behind Trey McBride. I just think he brings an all-around game that is very difficult to find. Yeah, we could have went into this draft and find a different tight end, but it's no guarantee that they produce that Cade Otton has done as far as playing every snap, being a key blocker in the run game, pass protection blocker as well, and then being a reliable target in the middle of the field. Like, that's hard to replace, and it's hard to find guys like that are out there, reliable, doesn't get injured, and is always a guy that you can count on.
And I think it's just, again, like people.
But again, like, I understand he's not flashy like David Njoku. He's not flashy like Isaiah Likely. You don't have to be flashy to be good in this league. And I think we've seen that throughout Buccaneers history. I mean, there's been a lot of players that aren't flashy, but they get the job done.
He just does the tough work that doesn't get noticed. Right. And as film junkies, we see it. But as a casual fan, they just want numbers. They just want big probability. And
it's not about the box score.
No, and it isn't. That's how you win games, is the little stuff that coaches see and players execute. They don't get the notoriety, but the coach will notify you. No, you did what you had to do to get us to where we needed to be. And Cade does that. He just puts his head down and gets his job done. Guess what? He got a big number. Get mad about the number. The player is a good player. Yes. The tip ball on the Lions that literally, or was the Lions or the Rams? No, Rams game.
Yeah. Lions. Well, he had Lions and Rams, but the Rams was,
Damn. But regardless of that, it's a lot of consistent blocking in the running game and the pass game, and he's where he needs to be. I mean, hell, from the Seattle game, people were like, "Oh, damn, he's going to have an amazing year." We have a lot of receivers, and then we had a young play caller who didn't know what the hell they were doing. And then to that fact of, I remember I heard it yesterday. You were talking to someone about the how's the offense going to look without a Mike Evans. We're touching on that today. It's like, Mike made things easier because you could read the field more clear, because it's, someone's going to go with Mike and shadow him, right? It made it easier. It didn't make it easy. Nothing about the NFL is truly easy, right? So Mike is truly just a great vertical deep threat and a hell of a target in the red zone. Those places he made it easier. But guess what? The Bucs weren't that good in those areas either, right? So just because you made it easier does not mean it's easy. So you still got to find ways to scheme things open. Timing, blocking, all that matters. Losing Mike sucks. 100% it does. But is it over and we're the worst team in the league? No. You still have a majority of everyone besides Mike. Okay. So that means Chris Godwin, bigger role. Mecca, bigger role. McMillan, bigger role. You didn't have McMillan damn near all year. So you still get your three main guys. Give Jason Light credit for that one, being proactive and realizing, hell, we're paying these guys a lot of money. I can't be doing this. I have to have someone I can go lean on later.
And they just added a player that had 73 catches last year as a running back. So when you factor that in, like, you're basically getting a guy that's very similar to Rachaad White, even maybe better, because you look at his yards per carry. It was over 4.5 yards per carry. So his running ability, I think, could be an upgrade. And just adding him with Bucky and the usage of 21 personnel. Zach Robinson's been a big fan of that. We've seen it in Atlanta. And now you're adding that to your repertoire. That's really fun. And like, people in the comments are talking about like potential receiver draft picks. I mean, Jason Light has always taken a receiver at some point. Now it's not going to be early. It's going to be a day 3 player, but this is a great receiver class too. So maybe they add another receiver as well.
This is the funny one I was talking about.
Yeah.
So like tip ball, 3 years, 30 million, 20 million guaranteed. How dare you? Yeah, this does suck. He's wide open, catch the damn ball, put some gloves on. Right. But regardless, it's one awful play. It happens, right? It sucks. I guarantee he hated it just as much as everyone else did. But here's some logic here. We got I understand this gets clicks. This gets clicks, but Auten is very good blocker and a reliable target in the pass game. His drop rate is very low overall, probably around 3%. So, I mean, yeah, it sucks that one drop, pretty big ass drop, but overall, very consistent player nonetheless. He does his job. He does his assignment. You can depend on him. Right. And it's not like they gave him $20 million. It sounds a lot, but for the market of the tight ends, actually, I'm going to look it up while you defend his bullets.
No, I'm good. I think we talked enough about K-Dot, and I think just offense overall is definitely going to be different. I think schematically, I talked about it a little bit earlier in the show. You're going to have more players that kind of fit what they're trying to do. Not saying Mike can't do this, but they're definitely going to be attacking the intermediate parts of the field. I think McMillan can definitely be a deep ball threat, just the way he's able to stack his routes and get open. Emeka showed the ability to get downfield. So you don't lack in terms of having avenues to, still be a dangerous offense, especially with you're putting some hope in, yes, but the natural progression for Tej Johnson, Emeka Buka, you look at who am I forgetting? McMillan. Like all these are young players and alongside Chris Godwin, who you're feeling confident that he's going to get back to his old self. That should be pretty fun to see how it develops and what Zach Robinson can do. Not only a healthy offensive line, that's the biggest factor right there. And Jason Light, even Zach Robinson talked about it. Like the offensive line is what's going to make this go. So when those guys are healthy and ready, we can still be a very dangerous offense. And I think you just showed like they're investing at running back and tight end. And what does that do? That allows you to be more flexible in the draft. I mean, when I was doing like our mock off seasons, we were taking a tight end and running back because we needed those positions. But now you don't have to force that. You don't have to say, hey, we can add this. I mean, sure, they could still add at those spots, but it could be at a much lesser cost, which is what you're trying to do in free agency. You're trying to find value so you don't have to force certain positions. Linebacker, you don't have to necessarily force that spot in round one. Sure, if a Sonny Styles pops up, yeah, absolutely, you take him. But, it's just, I think when you look at it, edge and interior defensive line is probably going to be the high priority when we look at the first round and second round, in my opinion.
Yeah. So if we're talking contracts, okay, threw this into the old chat box. A lot of people like to knock on this. So top 20 tight ends for average of money. Top tier, 19 million. Clearly he ain't getting that.
Right.
Middle of the pack, around 10 million. You got Noah Fant, Juwan Johnson, Dallas Goedert, Taysom Hill.
Yeah, he's right there at 15.
Right? He's making 10 this year, right?
Yep. Yeah.
So, I mean, 3 year, 10 million per year.
Right.
It says if you want, most starting tight ends fall into a $10 to $13 million range. He's a starting tight end. He plays 99% of the snaps. Yeah. Clearly, he's probably in the same little money range. I know we wanted less because of probably this Tyler Higbee contract. We got $8.5 million. I thought that would have been perfect. But Tyler Higbee is more of a receiver. He's not the best blocker. He's not as good a blocker as Cade is.
Right.
That is a normal contract for a starting tight end.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think you could have drafted one that could do as much overall work that Cade Otton does. Yes, been a better receiver? No doubt. I guarantee it. Better receiver at tight end? 100%. But I mean, Cade does a lot of little
Mhm.
things that you don't really think about. So he isn't elite tier. No, he's not getting 16 to 19 million. He's not these guys, but he is a starter, which makes 10 million a year on the lower end of a starting tight end. So it's what the market is deciding on.
Yep.
Did you want him to take less? Okay, yeah, but the market dictates what your price is. That's what happens, right? That's why they test the market. That's what that market's there for, right?
Yep.
But this is part of the game that is the world we live in, right? So, hey, you got your starter back. Everyone besides Mike on offense pretty much back. That was a starter.
Yep.
So let's look at it that way. You gained another running back that can block, that can catch, that can make moves out of the backfield. And not to mention the guy from last year who got, what was it, the young guy from LSU?
Josh Williams.
Yeah, Josh Williams. So a lot of young, like scat back kind of guys that can make moves in space quicker.
And it remains to be seen if we're going to add Sean Tucker. I would probably say most likely he's leaving, but we'll see what that market. Again, he's still available. That will probably be a slower waiting game with him because obviously the main guys, the main veterans are getting, their money. But yeah, offensively, I think you're still in a good spot.
Yeah.
I think there's still a lot to be excited about. And again, it's how you utilize these players to their maximum. And that's why you're putting your bets into Zach Robinson. Defensively, again, it still remains the same. You got to add edge rusher. You got to add interior defensive lineman. I do like that they got a linebacker. Again, steady presence, good leader, guy that can run. But guess what he can do? And that's cover. Like, this guy's a good cover linebacker. And that's probably the biggest thing that they needed. Everyone was talking about it last year. All the fans were like, we just can't cover the middle of the field. Well, guess what? You just got a guy that can cover the middle of the field, can run and play man coverage with certain players and do different things, can blitz. He was in the top half as far as quarterback pressures. I think he had about close to 20 QB pressures. He had 2.5 sacks. So this guy can bring blitzing to his arsenal. And I think adding size, like we talked about earlier, 6'3", getting more length in the middle of your field, that's obviously going to be an emphasis for this defense.
I mean, careful there now, plus. Careful.
I'm going to change this out.
Well, I mean, obviously, though, the emphasis should be on defense. Their offense, I think it's literally you just fix the person play calling and get more experience there so Todd doesn't have to make any changes to that. He can just be hands off and not be like, oh, let's give them more reps. Let's do that. No, get a guy that knows what they're doing. Let Todd worry about a defense that needs vast improvement, not just coaching, which he did. Every damn assistant is damn near changed. Okay. I think you have 2 that you kept on that were different. They were the same. Yep. Everyone else is new. So he made massive overhaul there. They need to get players in here. You got one from the front 7. I would hope to anticipate at least an edge rusher and a defensive tackle to add to that because you have gaping holes there. And I guarantee you they'll try reaching for Trey Hendrickson, probably selling him on the Florida state tax law.
Yeah. But yeah, I just saw the odds were someone put out a tweet that the odds were at 50-50 between the Bucs and the Cowboys. So I think that's interesting. Even though the Cowboys, they traded for Rashawn Gary this morning. So yeah, definitely going to be intriguing.
I mean, hey, if they get him, Buck fans will bring down the emotion a little bit. I guarantee. If they don't get him, it's going to be even more of a slaughterhouse. But either way, you're seeing what the plan's happening. The plan's at least going a little bit what we thought would happen. I thought Mike was going to go early on. I thought he had to go based purely upon the money, right? And to move forward as an organization. Like you can't keep that many quality receivers. Even Mike knew that. Mike said, you know what, let's push their hand.
Yeah.
Right. So
yeah, I think it was pretty clear that the Bucs already kind of figured, that Mike was moving on, especially with how quickly they acted with Anzalone and Kenneth Gainwell also re-signing Cade. Once they re-signed Cade, I was pretty much, Mike's not coming back. Because it was going to be one or the other. It wasn't going to be both. So they made a decision. Now it's going to be what type of value can they find at edge and defensive line? Because right now, I don't expect much happening in that realm for the Bucs because of the value and where it is right now, because everyone's getting overpaid. So I think there could be a possibility where they try to sign a good solid player for maybe less than 12 million and see if they can make something happen in the draft as far as the edge room, because the edge class is strong in the draft. It's decent at interior defensive line. So I think there's definitely possibilities where they heavily invest at edge, maybe drafting 2 edge players, maybe drafting 2 interior defensive linemen. So those are things you got to look at.
Now, my thing with the interior defensive linemen, it's hard for the young guys to immediately make an impact.
Right. Yeah. Same thing with edge. Yeah.
Yeah. Cause I mean, it's a big boy game. Like you're messing with men, straight grown ass men. So it's harder to transition there, but you never know. Right. Well, what is their plan? You know, it's a front 7. I'm hoping, like I just said, it's one of those 2, but I'm still trying to get over the reasoning. Okay, Todd Bowles is your coach. Mike Evans leaves because of it. You think if we would have signed Nate Shieldhouse, he would have more wanted to stay? You think if we signed or if we fired him? Think about it. That's a whole rebuild. You're getting a guy that you don't know. Well, why would you more trusting to stay if you get a young guy, a guy that's younger than you, that you're going to say is going to be your head coach? Not in Shieldhouse, but of Udinsky.
Yeah,
I think that those are the guys everyone wanted.
Yeah.
Right? Everyone wanted. I want that. No, we suck. Get rid of them.
Yeah,
I heard someone say, this is hilarious. I gotta say this.
Yep.
Todd Bowles was what they call his head, because it's perfectly shaved head. I couldn't believe it. I was like, I died. Like, God damn, it does look like it. Oh, shit, I messed up, guys. I wish I remembered what it was, but it was hilarious. Okay. But like, they were blaming him again. I'm like, come on. So a young guy would have kept Mike Evans here. I think it's just more, he knew consistency in 49ers. They know how to get guys the ball. They just can't get over the top. And rightfully so. I mean, that's a good justification. We have more question marks than they do. But at the end of the day, look at what the Eagles did when they flopped against us when we had Dave Canales, 2-3 years ago? 2 years ago. And then they just come right back over and win the Super Bowl based off of making little additions on their offensive and defensive staffs.
Yeah.
Winning a Super Bowl. But you got to make the right picks. Got to add the right guys. It is possible. Don't think we're worst of the worst because of Todd Bowles just yet. Like, what he's hired on so far, I'm liking the moves. Do I love it? I don't know. You can't tell yet, but
yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah. I mean, just looking at, we'll talk a little bit NFC South. Just looking at the rest of the NFC South, I am happy that the Saints lost a couple key defenders on their side of the ball. They lost to Mario Davis, who's going back to the Jets. So that's good, I think, because he's a really good player. So him leaving, puts a hole in their defense. And then also losing Alante Taylor, I believe, to the Titans for big, huge money. And then they did sign Travis Etienne, which is interesting. I think it looks like what's his name? Alvin Kamara might be retiring. I saw that was the rumor, but I don't know if that's true or not. Yeah. But they did add Travis Etienne, and they also added a guard, David Edwards from Buffalo. So when you look at that, and then look at the Panthers added Jalen Phillips, big contracts. We'll see what that does. Obviously, they think he's going to produce what they need as far as overall pass rush, along with the other defensive linemen that they have. And then the Falcons adding Tua Tunga, I can't say his last name, but adding Tua to the mix, I thought was that's kind of intriguing just because I guess Michael Penix isn't going to be ready at the start of the season because of the ACL. And I forget who else. They added a couple of receivers as well, I believe. They got the one guy that they've had before. So they made a couple moves that were intriguing, but also a couple of key losses as well.
I'm reading the statement that
Mm-hmm.
Mike Evans put out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just clearly him just saying, yeah, he wants to win. He wants to be in an offense that challenges defense, an environment where he can continue to push himself. But he also mentions how good the wide receiver room is. So it's like a lot of people got to eat, right? When their room's that good. When you go to a room that's just Ricky Pearsall, another guy that gets hurt a lot, I mean, you're the number one dog. And then Christian McCaffrey shouldn't be getting the ball as much as he's getting it. It helps them 100%. He took a paid check decrease because of that, but he thinks they're a better opportunity to win, and rightfully so. But it's not saying that the Bucs are not a viable option to win. Their offense is still intact. You got a better play caller. You need to focus on the defense, and I would assume more is going to come. Guys, don't get mad that it's not happening immediately. Devin Lloyd, probably because of money, he's probably feeling out the market. Remember what the market is like. They're hearing from other teams and trying to have other teams bid up and see who's going to snap.
Yeah, they have 5 Zooms. They have to use all their Zooms to make sure.
Let them use their Zoom calls and let them see who's going to budge first.
Right.
And what player really wants to go to what team, because once you hear them all, if there's not a number that's astronomically high, but you like this opportunity better, let's see. All the agents are going to say, no, just pick the biggest money. But I mean, realistically, let's see, right? Let it play out. Everyone doesn't sign on the first day.
Yeah. I mean, we still haven't even made it to officially free agency, but free agency has been open since the combine. Everyone talks about, illegal tampering or tampering period. Everybody tampers. Everyone's talking to agents. Everyone already has an understanding of
you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, here's just a good list of, who's still available. Obviously Trey Hendrickson, Devin Lloyd. I agree with Mark. I think he's just, trying to see where the value is and where's the best spot for him. He could end up back in Jacksonville just because of the other notable linebackers have already signed at certain spots. I forget where Devin Bush, I think, signed with, was that Commanders? I think he signed with, I don't know. I'll have to look that up. But there's still a lot of talented guys. We see a Levante David on here. So be interested to see what happens with him.
Plus, I can't believe this. I'm agreeing with Jenna Lane. Check this out. Check this out. Let me bring this big. She said, I've seen a lot of fans on here say it's Todd Bowles. He's the problem. But let's consider the resources devoted to the defense post-Super Bowl. They've missed on some draft picks. Haven't invested heavily in free agents. And some guys weren't getting developed. And Evans is going on his 5th offensive coordinator in 5 years. I think it has to do more with a lack of consistency with who has called plays on offense. I do know he was very disheartened about missing the playoffs too. Very logical answer.
Yeah. All those are valid, I think, like, let's just play a little hypothetical. Like, let's say Kalijah Cansey never got injured in his career so far. I guarantee you this defense looks a whole lot different. We're talking about a whole different subject than what we have been. Like, they drafted him first round for a reason because they felt his ability as a pass rusher, when on the field, he's shown it. He's a force. And when you don't have that player, that's a big loss. And it's unfortunate with the injuries. It really is, because he really was never injured in college. He was always reliable. And that's a big piece. So if you can get Kalijah Cansey to be, injury free, that's a huge bonus to your defense and just an overall X factor, because we've seen how they utilize them. They move them all over the front line. But yeah, I mean, You've missed on Chris Braswell. It hasn't hit.
Wolf.
Yeah, Wolf, the free agents that you've tried to add, or not really add, but like, yeah, it's been difficult. But I always go back to the 2020, the 22 off season. You have Tom Brady in his last year. You get Todd Bowles towards basically right before the draft is about to go down, at the end of the March. So you're already past the hiring cycle. You lose Ali Marpet to retirement. You lose Ryan Jensen before the season starts. So you have to invest in certain spots that you weren't expecting, because if Ali Marpet doesn't retire, Ryan Jensen stays healthy, you have a dominant offensive line that you don't have to worry about adding resources to. And maybe those resources could have went to defense. So Logan Hall, we already, about him. He's gone. But yeah, I mean, there's been missed evaluations, and evaluations definitely have to improve.
Fireable offense.
Yeah.
I mean, Logan Hall, will not, won't not, any other negative things. I will never get it. Never, ever get it.
Yeah.
And if someone wants to tell me, I'll listen. I'm still not going to agree.
Yeah.
I just don't see it.
He's
The
still,
person, the man, the player,
still available.
still available. It's surprising he didn't sign the second 401 hit. But I mean, so yes, there's been misses top to bottom. Like we've talked about this, and we've yelled at each other about it. It's top to bottom, a lack of good things going from your GM to your coaches to the players. Like I mentioned before, we could have won a lot of those games that we lost in those losing streaks. You couldn't just blame Todd Bowles.
Yeah.
So it's also the players in the field. They didn't execute at a high level, high clip. Coaches should have called better plays. Yeah. But the plays that were there to be made, you got to make them. Yep. And if you don't do that, you're putting the coach's line on the draw on the line.
Thank you, Stephen. I forgot. But that's a good pickup. They get him instead of Tremaine Edmonds. Edmonds goes, I forget where Edmonds went. Oh, he went to New York. So the Giants. So
wow.
Yeah.
And then
sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're right. But Realtor David said Kancey is more of a luxury pick because he is bad against the run. Third down, defensive line is a luxury roster slot. But I don't know why. I think the Logan Hall, Kancey, they just totally changed. We've talked about this. You went from a Todd Bowles defense that's big guys in the middle, stop the run, stop the run. He always says that. To guys that don't know how to stop the run, Logan Hall, or a guy that's just not body type made to stop the run. He's supposed to be an aggressor in Elijah Kancey. Yeah. And then you expected Todd Bowles' scheme to be the same, or you told him to change it. Like, it's frustrating. So from top to bottom, again, that's a clear point. What the hell are we doing with that draft selection? It wasn't a smart pick. Yeah. And hopefully we go back to what the bread and butter was, which is stopping the run, getting the big guys in the middle, so it makes the job for the guys behind them easier. And those edge rushers get way more one-on-ones. Like, and the fact, if you can move Elijah Kancey around in that fashion again, it makes it even more fun and advantageous for Todd Bowles to unleash some weird-ass looks. He's good at it. But, like, when you have that many holes and liabilities on the defense, that's an easy attack. Easy attack for other offenses, especially ones that know how to attack, like a Kyle Shanahan, right? So either way, the focus needs to be on the defense. I don't think we said it enough in multiple off seasons. I don't think Jason Light said it enough in the combine, because clearly people are wondering why the hell we let Mike Evans go. Yeah. Well, okay, we got to balance the roster out. We just have to. Yep. The opportunity is Emeka's on a rookie contract. Chris Godwin's got a lot of money. Jalen McMillan, rookie contract. So use this youth that you have under small amounts, put some money into the defense, and see what we can build, right? Yep. So the plan's slowly starting. One big chip fell. Mike Evans gone. Kate Otten back. So let's see how much more goes into this defense.
Yeah, I mean, so the estimation was they had about $50 million in cash to work with. So far today, they spent about $24 million of that. If you estimate the contract, 7 for Gainwell, about 7.5 for Anzalone, and then 10 for Cade Otton. So puts you a little bit over 24 million. So you still have, some room, operating room to work with. We will see if that involves Trey Hendrickson. The owners would have to probably extend that spending limit, which they could do. They could build as much as 70 million in cap space if they wanted to. It just depends on if they want to go a little bit extra to get one of these guys. So we'll see. I think, like I said earlier, the veteran route is probably something in the cards, but it depends on what type of value can you get. If it's Chase on for 15 million, I would love to see it. Joey Bosa, less than 12 million, that's an option. But yeah, maybe Sam Williams from the Cowboys. There's guys out there. It just depends on how do you want to be built, how do you want to attack this from a scheme and defensive standpoint.
I still just see all the question marks on Mike Evans stuff, but let's look at some things in the chat really quick.
Yeah.
Soft rebuild loading. Baker and Godwin move on next year. Take that 70 million and solidify the defense even more. I don't think that's true. I think, again, they said they talked about Baker a lot in the combine too, how they want to build around Baker.
Yeah.
So I think it's evident. I don't think they're going to give him the contract extension just yet, but like they're very much, they mentioned him saying that they want to build around him, then saying we want Mike back immediately. Right? I mean, Godwin, he still has one more year after this year.
Yeah, next year for Godwin's pretty much an option year. So if Godwin doesn't produce this year like they expect, then they could easily move on from Godwin next year and take that money and use it for something else. Baker, again, I think they're probably going to give him a 1 year audition and see how he plays with the new offense, see how he does with Zach Robinson. And I think for them to move on from Baker, a lot would have to go wrong. It would have to be 5 wins or less type of season, and you're rebuilding the whole ship pretty much. And you have a top pick, you're drafting a 27 quarterback out of the draft and starting fresh.
I don't think Godwin, possibly if he still isn't recovered fully from that injury and it's just who he is.
I think he was showing he was back towards the end of the year. I know that's end of the year, but he looked like he was gaining his athleticism and ability to be what we need from him. So,
and I mean, you want that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, the Miami game. That was a rough game to watch. I mean, it was a tough stretch. It was a tough stretch. But let's see, with the focus of him and Ibuka combined instead of Mike throwing in there too.
Yeah.
Again, so it takes a lot for a play caller to fully hear all the voices of everyone saying, I want the ball, I want this, and a play caller to say, this is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
With confidence. So let's offensively, and I know everyone's like, oh, we're going to be awful because now teams are going to play against us. Look at it more as there's more opportunity to spread the ball around and be more dynamic. You don't have to force anything. You can do more creativity of screenplays. You can do more creativity of loading one side of the field and doing something else on the other side. It doesn't have to be, Mike, you just stay on one side, everyone else on the other. Right? I mean, again, scheme-wise and how you run an offense, we ran things to get Mike open too, right? It wasn't just Mike's such a dominant player, you just leave him on an island. Right. There were times throwing him inside in the slot or having him move in motion. So more how do you run your offense? If there's a guy that knows what the hell they're doing, it's better. That's why Mike went to the 49ers, because he knows what he's doing. He's proven it time and time again. Zach, he had his show in Atlanta, very much a rookie quarterback and consistency at quarterback.
Yeah.
He had a great running game, but I don't think he had the offensive line and weapons that he still currently has here, even without Mike Evans. Drake London is a great player. Kyle Pitts is a one-sided player. Yes, he gets more attention because he can receive. But is he the blocker that Cade is? No. But I mean, again, I understand the upsetness, emotional aspect of it, but I'm looking at it from they had to move on by a numbers standpoint, and it's still there's more moves that need to be made. But I just there's some things where it kind of I think it's just too much emotion and not enough thinking of your team and where they're at right now. You think Mike Evans would have solved the defensive issues? No.
No. I think a more balanced and consistent offense will definitely help. That's what you're hoping to get. I think, I mean, this is the hope for Godwin. I think you'll definitely see him be utilized in that way where he can, operate in the slot and be that reception magnet, a guy that can catch the ball, get yards after contact, do all those different things. So Mecca, I think, can grow, and same thing with Jalen McMillan. So those are all, options that we'll look at as far as like film breakdowns and stuff like that. We'll take a look at scheme and see how they attack in different ways. So, Mark, you're cracking up over there.
It's just some of the stuff you just read on Twitter.
Oh yeah, Twitter is all over the place.
I thought Jason Light was like a saint to everyone. Someone put this fat ass can make jokes on Twitter, but don't know what needs to be done to stop things like this from happening. I'm defending Jason right now, which is wild. I was so critical of him. I thought he had balls to do this. I thought it takes a lot of balls to do that. You moved on.
Yeah.
Man, look how quickly the Rams moved on from Cooper Kupp. You got Devontae Adams, yeah. But I mean, you got to draft well. You got to keep moving. Time doesn't stop. You got to keep going. And you rip the Band-Aid off, and it's gonna heal. But you got to find a way to speed up that process by improving overall, right? You learn something from it and you move on. So, guys, don't be too damn upset.
Yeah, we just got to see how it plays out. Like I said, you have to let this offseason fully get completed, see where the team is around August and what type of, ads have they made to the defense, and see if they can get some good value here for the interior defensive line and edge position, along with the linebacker, which I think they did today in Anzalone. So, we'll see how it plays out. A lot to discuss. We'll definitely get into film study of Cade Otton. That'll be my next area of discussion for sure. And then we'll continue our draft coverage, especially on the Substack and YouTube channels as well. So I don't know, Mark, we have anything? Oh, Shanahan over Bulls. I mean, Shanahan's he's top coach, good offensive mind.
Man, realistically, or is it? There it is. Trade a fourth for Kayvon Thibodeau. I've been saying that could be an option. It's more the money thing there too, because you're going to have to give him a contract probably when you trade for him, or do you let him write it out? You mentioned Jonathan Grenard, potential option as well.
Yeah.
What was the? Oh no, he got traded. Sean Gary.
Yeah.
I mean, there's options out there. What does Jason Light do? Hopefully, he doesn't just rely on the draft. I'm hoping he signs an edge rusher and a defensive tackle before the draft leading up.
Yeah.
Not one linebacker. I think it's good, regardless if you do get David back or not. I think you should have brought him back regardless. Gotten Anzalone.
Yeah.
I still think David comes back. I know you're against it. I think it'll just be two smart guys in the middle. I'm more okay with Servassier being a backup.
Yeah.
And spot blitzer on third down, right? You must find a way to improve that defensive line.
Yeah.
Just give me one big guy at least, and then Big Citrus.
Yeah, Big Citrus in Florida. That has to be
right.
Definitely. I mean, mock drafts definitely. I think we're going to try to incorporate more of them because they are fan favorites. So when we'll do a new one, we'll probably get one once we get closer to the end of March. We're going to kind of let free agency play out here and
Oh, we
I'll try.
may do one sooner. If I get time or something, we may do one.
Yeah. We'll do one soon because the moves made today could change things. So yeah.
Sure as hell ain't drafting a tight end now.
But we appreciate it, David. Thank you for the super chat. Much love there. Yeah, with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this stream. We have over almost 300 people in here, which is crazy. Be sure to hit that like button. If you have comments about what we said earlier, feel free to drop them into the comment section below. And check out our work at Substack and also our YouTube membership that we have exclusive content out as well. But if anything, happens, over the next couple of days, we'll do our best to try to get something out there for you guys to talk about it. And yeah, it should be a lot of fun. But yeah, just a lot of good stuff here. I know it's kind of bittersweet day with Mike Evans leaving, but we got to see and let this plan take place as far as Jason Light and Todd Bowles talking about the overall plan to improve the front seven. I think they took a minor step doing that with Alex Anzalone. Now we got to see if they can add some more beef to the edge and interior defensive line.
Yeah, guys, the day may seem gloom because you lost an emotional attachment that was Mike Evans for the longest of time, but you're still a Buck fan. Remember that. You're not just a Mike Evans fan. We all are a Mike Evans fan, but we got to kind of think and see, where is our team going to go? Are we going to fall into a pit? You hope not.
Yeah.
The plan is still moving. It's still fluid. It's still potential for good moves to be made. Don't get all upset just yet. It's day one.
Yeah.
of free agency. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's build a team. Let's see what we can do. And yeah, maybe more mock drafts will help with that. So let's see. Maybe next time we're on, we can do one. But guys, I'm not that upset. I can see the reasoning behind it, the logic behind it. Let's keep moving forward. It's a new day. Now, think about this. Chris Godwin and Emeka are your outside receivers. They can do damn near everything. Yep. Very smart players. They can block, both do quick screens, both do anything you want them to. So you haven't lost that much. You just got to find consistency. And I think they're trying to look for that. That's a big key word of consistency with all the players that they sign or bring back.
Yep. Couldn't agree more. With that said, guys, hope you enjoyed this live stream. Be sure to hit that like button. Appreciate all the support in here, all the questions, the comments. We love you all. And with that said, we will see you guys probably pretty soon. We'll try to be live again next week for Monday, probably Monday or Tuesday. And again, if anything breaks, we'll try to put out some type of reaction for you guys. But with that said, go Bucs, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Woo!